And, maybe did you have some sort of chip on your shoulder? You are the oldest running back in the league now that Mark basically retired.
Yeah, I do. I think, obviously, you kind of get written off the older you get, especially at the running back position. And so I think for me, I got a lot to prove year in and year out. Every day I'm out here of just, proving that statistic wrong. And so, but a lot of us talk, some of the older guys on this team, and I truly believe it's not about like the age itself. I just think it's hard to keep that hunger as you get older in this league and as you get more comfortable. You lose that edge, and so I think I've remained and kept that hunger. Maybe more so now than ever, just to be able to show that I can still play at a high level and still compete at a high level. And it's really just all the things you do outside of the game, on and off the field, is what keeps you up there.
Being on this team and this organization with what they've built, feed into that, like saying, okay, this is a little bit even more. I have a higher expectation of myself than I need to do.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said it when I first came in, I've always wanted to play for a team that's competing for a championship, and, a team that obviously has great players, great organization, and in year in and year out is competitive and have a chance to go out there and win championships. And so when you're on a team like that, you don't think that you're not around guys, just collecting a paycheck and just there. We got a group of guys, a group of great players, a great locker room, competitive team. I mean, I believe there's something going on every practice just to how competitive we are, but that's the environment you want to be around. And so, being here, that helps a lot, that, we're all working towards something and competing towards something. So it helps that I'm just not, on a team that's trying to make it there. This is a team that's established that culture already and that identity. I'm sorry.
How do you feel physically? Because, this summer you haven't looked like the oldest running back in the league by any means.
I feel really good. It's a credit to, I think, as he said, just the culture here. And I think everything they do from, the off season, I spent time here training with the coaches, strength coaches, the training staff, the medical staff. I just think it's a culture that you can strive in, you can be your best, and I think it's helped me a lot. So I give them a lot of credit, this organization, especially at this stage in my career, to be able to feel this healthy, this good. Again, I give them a lot of credit for that.
Came in this team and you probably had your thoughts. You saw them play, you knew some guys, but now that you've spent so much time around, especially training camp, like being in the dorms together, what's changed for you? What surprised you about just the group, the dynamic?
Yeah, I think that this is it's like truly a family here in a sense. And I haven't felt that way about like me coming into a situation and seeing how the guys interact. More so than any other team I've been across or played for. I remember training camp the first day, just walking in the locker room, and it was our first team meeting, but just seeing everybody greet each other in a way of like, hey, good to see you, how you been, how's the offseason? I have never experienced that in any of the other teams, any other training camp, just that interaction when we first got back together. So I think that stood out to me of how close-knit the team was, the locker room was, and it's not just an offense-defense kind of thing. It's a team thing, and so really respected that, really appreciated that.
Is that really like player-driven? Like, do you feel like that it's in the locker room or partly coaches too?
I definitely think it's player-driven. I think coach helps, but I think it has to be player-driven. I don't think coach can force that connection. I think the decisions he make to allow us to get closer and grow closer, right, is on him. But in the end, it's up to us to come together and grow that bond. And so, maybe a little bit of both, but it's definitely, it's up to us to make that bond. And I think that they do and we do.
From James.
James he's a special player. Like he's still young. I think he still has a lot of growth, but obviously he's a special talent, explosive, physical. He's shown this camp. He's shown. I think he's shown all the attributes of a running back, every down back, and so I'm impressed with that. And impressed with his knowledge of the game. This offense is not the easiest offense to learn, and his comfort level in it. The hurry up that we do. I was impressed with that. So I think sky's the limit for him. I think he's going to have a really good year, and I think he'll be a really good back in this league.
Over every other running back that you stand next to in the room? Yeah,
at this point now I am. I mean, I haven't been next to anybody, especially in the same locker, in the running back room as tall as me. So, I don't know how I would feel, I guess. Maybe then I feel threatened there, right?
That he wouldn't want to tackle you?
Sean McDermott? Yeah, I mean, I would hope not.
So you have to run maybe a little different, like pad level, right? Running backs, like you're not really supposed to be high when you run, right?
Yeah.
What's that like for you having to be like that?
Yeah, I kind of mess with. I've heard all my life like that. I run too high, and my response is, okay, try being 6'3" and play running back in the NFL, and you tell me how you do, but. For me, it's like that's the body I got, and so sometimes I'm able to lower my center of gravity and run, but I have to balance bending over and running lower. So when you lose that, then obviously you lose that power if you're bending over, as opposed to trying to get low and still be explosive and still be strong and physical. So. It's just something that I've tried to obviously continue to work on, but I think I've found that sweet spot of just really falling forward, really just being one cut and downhill, not dancing. I've just been doing the things that I know that I'm good at, and the things that I've had success with, and I'll continue to do that.
Being a back. Eric Dickerson?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, all the time. No, he's more upright than me, even, I would say.
When I watch you, when I was growing up, watching how he ran with his knees.
Yeah, he's definitely more upright. He had a lot of speed, too. I would say ED did. So, but definitely watched him. All the guys they compared to, Eric Dickerson, Brendan Jacobs, AP, all different, but yeah, some big, taller guys. Obviously, Derek is a anomaly. So, we just, I respect what each of them do differently, and I definitely learn from, those bigger backs for sure.
Being a back that's bounced around in the league, sometimes from multiple teams in the same season, what's allowed you to thrive in that environment and accepting new environments, sometimes, like I said, throughout the course of the same season?
Yeah, I just think just embracing the situation and being coachable and putting football first. Like, I go into a situation, it's about the game of football, it's about winning, it's about how I can be the best player I can be the best version of myself in that offense, like on that team. So I think that's what it is. Just embracing that situation, keep football first, and letting the rest follow. I know every offense is different and whatnot, but I also take on the challenge of that too. I take on the challenge of, okay, I'm on a new team, and yeah, he had success this place, but I don't think he can replicate that. Like, I take that out as a challenge. So, any door I step foot in, my plan is to leave my mark, make an impact on that offense, on that team, wherever I go, and whatever age I'm at.
What excites you most about this offense?
I think I've seen the opportunity to catch the ball out of the backfield here a lot more. And not just kind of being if it's a third down back, I think every running back has the opportunity to do it all. I think I said that in the offseason before, and I really like that part. Someone asked me about game plan and scheme, and we've done it all: empty sets, catching out the backfield, draw screens. Like as a player, as a runner, you want that. You want to be involved in all those schemes, because those are opportunities. Those are reasons for them to keep you on the field. So I'm loving that, and I just got to continue to make the most of those opportunities.
About the fact, like when you're on the field, defenses are going to be more worried about Josh Allen than you.
Yeah, I like that. I like.
So I mean, the prospect of maybe facing some light boxes.
Yeah. I've thought about that a lot too. Look, when you come into a situation and you have a quarterback that is capable of doing what he's doing, not just throwing the ball and running the ball as well. So. If Josh takes a few eyes off the running back, all the more reasons to be in that backfield alongside him. So I do love that opportunity.
Smaller running backs get the stigma of just being like gadgets, speedy guys. On the flip side, do you try and break the stigma of you're just a big short yardage back? That's the kind of stigma you're trying to break throughout your career?
Yeah. People, like I said, I'm fast, and I think it's very deceptive because I'm bigger. But I would think if you ask a defender, he's just not a big, slow guy out there. I honestly believe the reason why I've still been able to play for so long these past years or whatever, once you cross that 30 threshold, is because I still have speed. If I didn't have that, I think, again, I wouldn't be that player. One cut downhill don't truly matter if it's no force, if it's no speed and power behind it. So I think my speed is deceptive, and I think that it's the reason why, again, I've been able to still compete at a high level, because I'm still able to, possibly take some of those the distance and, get out in open space and take it the distance.
You guys with Mike Hart stories from Gonzaga?
I mean, Mike, I got plenty. Look, Mike Hart is, for everybody that don't know, Mike Hart is from Onondaga Central, the same high school that I went to in Syracuse, New York. He was one of the best high school football players, you could say, for sure in New York State, maybe in the nation. I think he still has national records. But he was older than me, 4 or 5 years older than me. And so I had the chance to grow up watching him, at my high school, just dominate the game of football. I played with his younger brothers. I looked up to Mike. He was probably, one of the first people at a young age that gave me hope in terms of making it out of Syracuse, making it out of a small high school in Onondaga Central, and going on and doing something great. He's Michigan's all-time leading rusher. Maybe he holds Big Ten records, maybe, right? And then obviously he was drafted, and I was in this living room in Nedrow, New York, the day he got drafted. I'll never forget that day. And so obviously it brought me back. I was sitting in Nedrow, New York, the same when I got drafted as well, and I just remembered. I remember the biggest day in his life, him just sitting in Nedrow where we grew up. So Mike means a lot to me. I've told him that all the time. It's like a big brother. And so I wouldn't be sitting here today without being able to watch him do what he done.